Hi everybody, welcome once again to a Low on Health Daily Rambling, just me going over what I've done the last past day or so. As always, not too much. Basically just been kind of playing Alien vs. Predator, played a little bit of Modern Warfare, watched a couple anime series, New Bleach and Naruto and whatnot. And just kind of relaxing, as I do. Since this is going to be maybe a short one, I'm just going to fill it in with just some regular crap. If you've noticed, I've kind of almost always wear this little hoodie here. I do change my clothes. It's always a new undershirt and whatnot, but just because it's been cold in Florida, I do appear to be wearing the same thing in every single video, and I just realized that's pretty stupid. Now, sometimes I have my glasses on, and sometimes I don't. It's basically if I don't have my glasses on, like now, I have my contacts in, and that means I went out today. Today was bank day and McDonald's day, so that's why I'm wearing the contacts. But some days I'll wear the glasses, and now I do understand that those glasses, I get reflection and glare off of the video, and there are ways for me to work around that, but I just don't care. So if those bother people, I do apologize. Now, once again, filling in some much other random stuff here, I do want to mention I do have a Twitter account, but I don't want people following me on Twitter. I set up this Twitter account mainly to follow some net personalities, mainly the Loading Ready Run people. You got Kathleen and Graham, who use Twitter a lot, and basically I'm actually interested in what they're doing and whatnot right now. They're at their Olympic Games. They'll also post in here basically whenever they do stuff for the Loading Ready Run stuff, like their live casts or whatnot. I check there, and it kind of just gives me a little sense of what they're up to and their thought process. And then of course I also have Kevin Pereira as there, just because I do like to hear his opinion on things. I mean, that's what's nice about Twitter, is you kind of get an unfiltered look when something happens of people's reaction and whatnot, and I just think that's kind of interesting. So I've had this Twitter account forever, and I just recently decided to maybe kind of figure out what I'm going to do with it just randomly. So I decided to kind of just do random Twitter updates about whatever music I'm currently listening to. This isn't like, hey, every 5 minutes I'm going to put what song I'm listening to. It's basically when I wake up, I usually listen to just a bunch of random music. When I'm surfing the net, I listen to a bunch of random music, and usually before I go to sleep, I listen to a bunch of random music, and especially like when I edit and basically render this episode, I'm always listening to music. So I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of put what I'm currently, just kind of notable ones that I heard. I'm like, oh, I really like that song, and I'm just going to put it there. That way it looks like my Twitter account's kind of active, and it's going to seem really boring. I don't really want followers, but in case you happen to stumble across it, that's what it's going to be, is just what I'm listening to. Moving on, I mentioned Loading Ready Run. I haven't really talked about any escapist videos or anything recently because I've been working on other stuff. And figured you guys kind of know when I say, hey, go to the Escapist. They have really cool videos to go to the Escapist. But now I'm just going to mention, of course, Loading Ready Run, which I love this group of basically the production. What they do, this cast of characters, the writers, directors, everybody. I mean, this is their website, Loading Ready Run. They've had it for over 7 years, and they've kind of built it up over time. They got a strong crew and cast. It's very cool. So I recommend, if you like the Unskippable, the ENN, and the Loading Ready Run videos, this is basically their site. Go here and check out what they do. And I mean, it's always fun. Like, basically, they have some stuff on YouTube, but not everything's on YouTube. So it was nice to kind of, if you get time, Commodore Hustle is basically kind of like their little sitcom series of basically them being who they are, the extreme satire and extreme exaggeration of who they are. But it's just kind of funny. And I mean, Commodore Hustle is definitely, and they're decent episodes too. They're definitely worth the laugh. And then, of course, you have just the Fail House, which is kind of like a news thing that they used to do, which is actually almost kind of what made me decide to do this to an extent. And then, of course, there's their bonus stuff, which is always cool, especially their older bonus stuff. I mean, I hate to just ramble on about Loading Ready Run, but I've mentioned them a million different times, and I will just have to, of course, plug them again and again and again. And now that I'm thinking about it, the Fail House is almost exactly what I'm doing right here, just without the screen, and this is kind of almost what pushed me into doing it. But they're definitely more funny and put more effort into it, and it looks better because he has the actual equipment. But let's just go ahead and move on to what I did mainly today. It's like an Alien vs. Predator in the mail. I'm just going to play the opening video here. So far I'm digging it. It's a pretty average game. Like I said, I didn't really have any high or low expectations of it. I do like the fact, you basically play the 3 different basically races. You have the Marines, the aliens, and then the Predators. In which case you're kind of playing through one solid story from each different perspective. And what I liked about it is each different campaign, you can switch back and forth and play like the beginning of the Marine one, and then play a chapter of the Aliens one, and then play a chapter of the Predator one. And I've been kind of mix and matching them until they kind of all got synced up, and now I'm just kind of playing it Marines, Alien, Predator. And it's kind of cool just to see, like, there's only really 8 maps, probably 8 or 10 maps in the whole game. You basically go through them from each different campaign angle, and you kind of go through them in a different way, which is actually really kind of cool. And right now I'm having difficulty playing the alien side of it, which, I mean, for some reason I want to expect them to be a little bit more powerful than I thought they were, but maybe that's just how it is. I mean, almost like one shotgun blast can take them down or take you down when you are one of them. The aliens kind of more or less revolve around like stealth, taking out light sources, a la the Riddick from the Chronicles of Riddick and Butcher Bay. The cool thing about the aliens is they can't climb on any surface, so you can kind of go up walls and be upside down, which is of course disorientating, and that is of course very jarring to play as, is kind of switching back and forth. The Predator's kind of cool. They're not as gadgety as I anticipated them to be, but maybe that's just because of the thrill of the hunt and whatnot. So right now I'm actually finding the most enjoyable and easiest to play is actually the Marines, which is kind of, a basic straightforward affair. But it's a nice little game. I'm definitely kind of enjoying it. I did unfortunately run into a glitch that kind of stopped me from proceeding in a mission altogether. There was some scripting event that even going back to a checkpoint in an earlier save didn't fix, and I had to go almost to the beginning of the whole mission and lose 45 minutes just because of basically a little character emote that she's supposed to open up a door and she doesn't. And I've actually noticed that a bunch of people have commented about it on Game FAQs, and they've also mentioned that, hey, this thing isn't working. And I actually said, hey, it's not working either, but the best way you can do is have multiple saves and go back to it. This is actually kind of disheartening too. This opening cinematic, it gets kind of jarring. It's not really, kind of one of the weakest opening cinematics I've seen in a long, long time. But anyway, I'll have probably be beating it the next day or so and debating on if I'm going to go through it again. I did send back, of course, Africa, and I'm praying to get that soon before Heavenly Rain comes out, because, of course, I'm all gearing up for that. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys always for watching, and I'll catch you next time.